and welcome to this core workout. This video is geared more to a improver and intermediate level. We'll be working our core, which is not just our abdominals, but our side body, our back, and also our breathing muscles. Modify any exercises if you need to, and let's get started. So we're going to start facing the front edge of our mat. Our feet are parallel and grounding to the floor. Lengthen up through the spine. Open the chest, let your shoulders just relax down and lengthen that tailbone. Feel that sense up, up, up through the spine. Starting with a roll down, you're going to nod your chin, lift up and in the abdominals, and start to roll the spine down. Finding length in the shape. Breathe in. Exhale, curl the tailbone. Stack the pelvis on top of your thighs as you roll up. Again, nodding the chin. Just let your arms just relax forward, but you curve the spine. Finding length. Inhale. Now start from the pelvis, rolling on top of the thighs, then the lower back, then the ribs, shoulders, and then the head. So that beautiful articulation. One more. Head nods down. Rolling down. Keep that scoop up of the abdominals. Rolling down. Now here we're going to stay down, bend the knees and take a seat down on the mat. We're going to bend up our knees and hold the back of our legs and lengthen up through the spine. Let your shoulders just melt down your back. So you exhale, we're going to draw in the abdominals, roll back off our sit bones. Really try and curve through the lower back. So your pelvis is like a wheel, wheeling backwards. Keep hold of the legs and use your arms then to lift you back up. Exhale, roll back. For that lovely scoop of the lower abdominals, and then roll back up, using your arms as a little assist to lift you up. Breathe out, we roll down. So we're just finding that deep C curve. Try not to squash your ribs down, it's that long curve, and then roll back up. Exhale, we roll back down. Now on this one, you lift your arms up, deep in the abdominals, and then keep your arms reaching. I'm going to keep my curve now as I lift myself up and over the legs. Take a breath. Now I'm looking down, but not burying my head. As you exhale, you roll back. Maybe inquiring, going a little bit lower, but keep the feet on the ground. Just go as far as you can, and then deepen that curve as you come up. Rolling back. Like a wheel, your pelvis rolls back. Keep that pelvic curl. And then deepen those abdominals as you tip up. One more. Rolling back. And rolling up. And then from the base of the spine, you lift your back and open the chest. Find that chest stretch. And then we're going to walk our feet in, arms over the legs, and we roll all the way down now to the mat. Arms resting down, walk your feet in so they're hip distance apart, parallel, toes grounding to the floor, arms pressing down. We're going to tilt the pelvis using our lower abdominals. Keep your pelvic curl as you wheel your hips up into your bridge position. Finding that nice diagonal shape. Breathe in, exhale, roll down. Softening through the chest, warming up the back. Breathe in, start from the base of your spine, curling that pelvis, pressing those feet down, the arms down, rolling up. So we keep that tilt. Keep those ribs soft. Breathe in. Exhale, we roll down. Again, curling up. Rolling down. And one more, breathing in, curling up. Now let's stay here if you can. Turning your hands in, keep that pelvic curl. We lift those arms above the shoulders. Open the arms to the T, just above the floor, and exhale, return. Inhale, open. Exhale, return. Inhale, open. Keep those hips lifted if you can. Open and up. And open and up. Now we're going to hold our arms just above the floor. Roll the chest down, reaching those arms longer, and then rest them down on the floor. We're going to draw the abdominals in, relax those ribs, and lift the legs up to tabletop position, closing the legs together. We're going to roll our hips to the right side, and then exhale back, keeping the knees one above the other. As we roll to the left, feel your ribs spiraling in opposition. Those shoulders are broad on the floor. We breathe in, knees one above the other. We breathe out, drawing back through those abdominals. Breathing in, twist, and breathing out, come back. Placing the legs down. Going to slide our hands behind the back of our head, interlace your fingers, and nestling your head in your hands like a sack of potatoes. The elbows are tipping off the mat and eyes to the ceiling. Breathing in through your nostrils. As you breathe out, let the ribs and chest just soften. So they're just sinking down, ready to do our chest lift work. Breathe in. So it's so important to incorporate our breath. Breathe out. Let the chest and ribs soften down and connect into your center. Let's add in a chest lift now. So you're going to lower your eyes to your knees as you inhale. Doing a gentle head nod. As you exhale, soften the ribs and chest. You're going to pick your upper chest up. We hold and then lower back down. Breathing in. Nodding the chin. Let those ribs and chest soften. Hold and lower down. Resist the temptation just to pull on the head. We curve up from our spine, up and over. So you want to get as high as you can, looking forward and down. Let's do one more. Now we're going to reach the arms to the legs and lift a little higher. Contract deeper in those tummy muscles. Find that curved position. Hands go back behind your head without dropping, and then lower the chest down. Breathe in. Nod your chin. Exhale, we lift up and over. We reach those arms. We deepen that curve. Relax the shoulders. We stay up in that curve and lower back down. One more. Breathing in. Let the ribs soften down as you curl up. Reach those arms. Deepen that abdominals. Arms go back. We hold. Lift the right leg. Lift the left leg. Roll the chest down. We're going to keep our chest down. We're going to gently draw the pubic bone a little bit towards us. So we keep our back long on the floor, and we're going to do a little toe dip down for 10, 9, 8, 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Return the legs to tabletop. From here, you're going to nod your chin and curl the chest up. Hands go behind the thighs. Now you lift your chest up to your legs and then place your hands behind your head. If you need to take your head down at any time, please do. But if you can, we're going to do a toe tap for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now keep the right leg where it is and turn to the right leg. Bring the leg back to center and turn to the left. Keeping the back of the pelvis still. And it's a small twist. Think keeping up more in your flexion. It's a rib cage to hip. This is hard to speak doing this one. One more. And lower. Woo, back down. Stretch. Take a breath. Going to flex our feet. Bring the legs to tabletop for a moment. Then I'm going to bring my knees open and toes into a V position. And I'm going to place my hands behind the back of the thighs. Now, it doesn't look like I'm going to do anything, but I'm going to push my legs down into my hands and hands up into my legs. So there's a feeling of resistance. I'm going to let go and just draw my knees to the shoulders. Going to bring the legs back. Press the legs down, push your hands. Hold and pull in. Now I'm going to bring my legs back down into my hands, hands up into my legs, and then I'm going to stretch my leg, keeping them turned out. Curl the chest up if you can. Now I'm going to reach my arms, reaching by my hips. Now please lower your head if you need to. We're going to pump the arms on a 5 inhale breath. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in. Breathe out. Keeping your curve. That's the challenge. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out. Please take your head down if you need to and just pump the arms like that. But if you're okay, we're staying up. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out. Keep those tummy muscles working. Let's do one more round. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, and all the way down. Just gently rock your head from side to side. We have worked our neck muscles. And then we're going to keep our head down now. Rest those arms down. Legs go in tabletop, then you turn your knees and cross your right ankle over the left one. Now let's open up those collarbones, maybe open the arms a little bit wider. Now from here, imagine that you're curling your pelvis up into a bridge and lift your tailbone up a little bit off the floor. So it's very small little curl and lift. So I'm initiating from my abdominals, tilting the pelvis, lifting my bottom just a little bit off the floor. Try not to let the legs just swing. Let's cross the other ankle over and lift. So I'm initiating from that curl. Try not to push down too much into the arms, neck is relaxed. If you're feeling tension here, maybe place a pillow or do a smaller movement. It doesn't have to be big at all. One more. And then hug your knees in. From here, we're going to bring our legs back to tabletop and open the arms wide to the side. We're going to rotate the pelvis again. Going into your twist. Now here, stretch the legs if you can. Bring them back to center and then bend your knees. Rotate to the left. Spiral those ribs in opposition. Reach the legs long. Find that stretch. Bring the legs back to the center line and then bend your knees. We rotate and extend. Bring those legs back and bend. One more to the left. We rotate, extend. Now, if you can, keep the legs long. And you're going to rotate onto your right hip. Reach that left leg long so both of your feet are in line. And then exhale, come back. As I rotate, I'm going to pick up that hip and back. You can always do this in tabletop if you need to. Always modify. Reach and back, working in our core into those obliques. And bend your knees. And then take your feet down one by one on the ground. Stretch the legs long. I'm going to reach my arms and take them back and meander around my Christmas tree. All right, so let's go into our roll up. We're going to nod the chin, look at your toes, and roll up. Now, if you find rolling up a real challenge, couple things you can do. You can just roll halfway back and come up. You can use a TheraBand around your feet to assist you down and up. Or also sometimes you can just pop a little pillow underneath behind your lower back, so sometimes that helps. Okay, so if you can, reach those arms, flex the feet. Feel that lovely lift up and in of your tummy muscles. As we exhale, just like we did before, we're going to wheel the pelvis. We're going to go through that C-curve position. Now we're going to roll down and then reach those arms. Breathe in. Let the arms lower. Nod the chin, roll up. And extend. Breathe in. Rolling down. With control. Watch those ribs aren't flaring. We lengthen in our positions. Even in our curve, we lift up and over. Rolling the spine down. Reaching back. Lower those arms. And lift. Now I'm going to pick up my right leg, elbows wide. But I'm going to curl my pelvis and draw in the tummy muscles. I'm going to tip my pelvis back and roll into my curve. My left leg is anchoring to the floor. I'm stopping where I'm just going to drop, and then I'm going to pick myself up, staying in the curve. Exhale, round back. And tipping forward, keeping that beautiful curve of your back, rounding, tipping back off the pelvis. And then tipping forward, swapping legs, pick up the left. We curl that pubic bone up and we roll back down. And up. And tipping back. And forward, one more. And forward. Now we're going to bring my knees in. And bring the heels towards my bottom. My hands are low down towards my ankles, elbows relaxed. So I'm looking down and creating a curve, and then tip back just slightly off your sit bones and find your balance. All right, now feel free, guys, just to stay here in the balance if you don't want to do the roll. But if we can, we're going to slow-mo. So we're going to tilt our pelvis and roll back now on our shoulder blades, lifting the hips. And then we roll up and we hold. We're going to hold this balance for 3, 2, 1. Curl that pubic bone up, roll, and balance. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Curve, roll, and hold. Now we're going to do 5 on the trot, rolling like a ball. Breathe in, roll up, curve. Don't fling those legs. Keep in that tight ball shape. 2 more. Last one. And we hold. All right, from here, we're going to lift our legs if you can. Find the balance. Hold behind your thighs now. And then can you roll down onto your waist? Into your chest lift position. So we're still lifting up through the chest. Keep looking forward. Now can you bring your right knee in and stretch your left leg long into our single leg stretch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep that curve. 3, 2, and 1. Hold those thighs. Now we're going to tip our body up and lift the chest. All right, stay holding your legs. Slide your feet in. Let's roll down again onto our waist. Same legs. Now we're going to load our tummy muscles more by taking our hands behind our head. We're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7. Reach it long. 5. Keeping that curve. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold the thighs, roll up and lift the chest. All right, let's add a twist now. Here we go. So we're going to roll down, pick up those legs, place those hands behind you. We're going to slowly turn to that bent knee, coming back, pelvis anchored to the floor. So again, we're keeping in that lift, but a small twist. Elbows wide. Keeping up. Can we do one more? Hold and dip and coming up. All right, so let's stay sitting here, reaching those legs and flexing the feet. Feel free to sit up on a block if you need to. We're going to reach those arms and lengthen the spine. Lift up and out of your sitting bones. So from here, we're going to tilt our pelvis back just like a little bit. You probably don't see I'm doing anything, but I'm rocking back off my sit bones slightly. I'm going to keep a lovely abdominal connection as my head is going to fold forward, then my shoulders, but I'm slightly back off my sit bones as I go into my spine stretch. Breathing in, and then find that lift as you roll up like you're stacking your back against a wall. Here we go. Tip back slightly off your sit bones, rolling forward like you're peeling your spine off a wall. Keeping the shoulders down, breathe in, and then we roll back up and find more length as we lift up. We lengthen more. Find that lift. One more time, head nod, reaching forward. And then we roll up and lift. Going to close our legs. Feel free to bend the knees a little bit, but press those legs together. Going to turn the palms down. Bend your right elbow and go into a twist. The elbow is a little bit lower than the hand. Feel the other arm reaching forward and stretch. Stay long in your torso. And lift. And lengthen. And stretch. And twist. Absolutely no movement of the legs. Just twisting from our middle. And then lower down. Going to bend our knees and come to lying on our side. Going to lower down onto our elbow. Flat hand. Make sure your elbow is underneath your shoulder. Going to stack your knees and bring your knees back in line with your hips. And also your hips are in line too. We lift up out of the side into our obliques. Arm resting down, breathe in. As you exhale, reach your knees down, lift your hips, and reach the arm up and lower down. So we reach the knees down, lift the hips up and lower. Breathe in. We reach, keep the chest open and down. Let's do two more. Reaching up and down. Last one. And lower. From here, straighten your legs and we're going to lie all the way down. Hips remain stacking. Keep that lift. So if you need to put a little pillow, if you want to underneath your waist, you can. Ribs are nice and soft. Tailbone lengthening. You can have your hands in front of you, or a little harder option, reaching your arms alongside. On your inhale, reach the top leg and hold it there. As you exhale, pick up your bottom leg, hold it there, and then lower the legs down. Breathe in, lift your top leg. Exhale, lift the second leg, hold it there, and lower down. Breathe in, breathe out. We hold, and lower, and lift, and zip, and hold, and lower, and lift. Now, can you hold the legs up? Can you lower them just above the floor? Squeeze them tightly, flex those feet. Now, from here, can you feel that your hip is lifting up to your rib cage? So the legs float up and then lower down. So it's the hip lift to the ribs, keeping that tailbone long. Now, if you feel it's going into your back, maybe bring your legs forward a little bit, maybe bring your hip back a little bit. Do a little micro adjustments to make the work for you. And again, lifting, bring the hip up and down. And down, two more. And down, one more. Now hold, bend that bottom leg, flex the ankle, rest the top leg down. We're going to press up onto our hand now to do a lovely mermaid stretch. So lifting out of the shoulders, and I'm just going to scooch over a little bit. The arm lifts to the sky. I lift my hip up and try and really arc the body. Lifting the arm to the T and control the landing down. Lifting up and side bend and reach and down. Again, we lift and reach over, up and down. Lovely. Let's go on to side 2. Bending your knees again and resting down on your forearm. Make sure your hand is flat and that your elbow is underneath your shoulder, and stacking your knees and your hips. All right, so when you're ready, we're going to lift the arm. We're going to reach the knees down to the mat and lift your hips up. And lower back down. Reach the knees, lift that arm. So it's that movement from the hips, working into our waist. 2 more. And last one. And lower down. Let's stretch our legs and lie all the way down on the mat. So the legs are slightly in front, tailbone long, chin is off the chest, and we lift the top leg. We lift the bottom leg up. Hold it there, close the legs down. Lift and up. We hold and down. Again, lift and up and hold and down. And lift. Now the next one, we're going to keep those legs up. Find that balance. Lower the legs just off the ground and then feel your hip is lifting up. So we're moving that hip up to the rib cage and down and up and down and lift and down. Make a little adjustments if you need to find the work in your side. And down. 2 more. And last one. Bend the below leg, lower the top leg down. Let's come up onto our hand. All right, so we lift the arm, lift the hips, stretch, up and down. Again, we lift, reach over, up and down. Let's do 2 more. Great side stretch to open that body. Last time. Up, stretch, up and down. We're going to come onto our hands and knees now. Hands just in front of the shoulders, but shoulder width apart. Legs are together. Make sure you've got space behind you to stretch your leg. The abdominals, they're just very gently drawing in, but we keep the back long and sit bones reaching back. I'm going to slide the right leg behind me, keep the tippy toe on the ground, and reach your left hand forward. From here, we're going to lift the arm and leg up, keeping the back long. You're just going to tip it to the floor and up, keeping a sense of center. We're not overstretching the arm and leg. Keeping our hips as level as we can and shoulders level. Now on the last one, we're going to hold. Find that balance. Now you're going to bend your knee, curl the pelvis, bring your hand to your knee, so we're curling into a cat stretch. Round that back, and then we extend. Again, curl in. And stretch. Again, curl in. And stretch. Lower and change sides. Stretch the left leg. Reach the opposite arm, keep the head floating up higher than the heart, and then we lift up. And we find our Christmas tree as we lift. And lower. And up. And down. One more. Hold. Find that balance. Draw that pubic bone, curling under as we round. And reach. And round. And reach it out. Exhale. Use that breath. And extend. And then we lower everything down. Good. Just tuck your toes, take a breath. And lift your knees just off the mat. And lower. And up. And down. Keep your sit bones wide. So we're not moving the pelvis, tucking it under. We're just floating those knees up. One more. And we're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to make our way down now to lie on our fronts. Going to work the back of our body. Firstly, just bring your hands in front of you. Head relaxed. You can have it all the way down or slightly lifted. Just make sure your shoulders are melting down your back. Now we're going to focus a little bit on our legs and hips. So I'm going to tuck my toes. Legs are parallel. And maybe if you need a little pillow underneath your hips, you can. Because we really want to feel there's length in our front of the hips. And they're pressing down into the floor. So with my toes tucked under, I'm going to reach my heels back to open the back of my knees. So my legs are long. I'm going to gently bring my sit bones together and my pubic bone anchors down into the floor. So I'm doing a micro tilt. From here, I'm going to keep my legs where they are and just point my toes. And then I'm going to lower my legs down. Relax the legs. Curl the toes. Reach the heels and open the back of the knees. Curl the pubic bone, sit bones together. I'm going to reach the toes out and lower down. Relax the legs. One more. Curling the toes, reaching the heels, opening the back of the knees. I do a micro pelvic tilt, squeeze those sit bones, and then reach those legs away. Now from here, I'm going to let my left leg lower to the floor, but my right leg lifts just that little bit to work more in the glute. And then I'm going to do a little switch around. Keeping length of the legs. Like your toes are being pulled gently behind you. The hips are anchoring down. The back is nice and long, so we want to really lengthen that tailbone. Keeping that pelvic tilt of the hips. Into a nice slow swimming. One more each side. And then lower. Turn your legs out, so you're rolling your heels in. Keep the length of your legs and just open them out to about shoulder width apart. Your arms are going to open too in this free fall skydive position. Let your head float down. Lift your head just off the mat. And then lift your arms just off the mat. And then if you can, lift your legs just off the mat. Find that lovely sense of length through your body as we breathe in. Breathe out. So we're going to breathe in, fill the body with air. And there should be a natural lift and exhale. Breathing in. Let the body expand. And then breathe out. Then lower everything down, keeping in that shape. Reaching those legs long, shoulders gliding down your back. We're going to lift our head up. We're going to look along our mat. And then our chest reaches forward. Now, if you can, follow your eyes up the wall in front of you as you lift into your swan. Find that stretch of your tummy. Just go as far as you feel you can. Shoulders relaxed. Now we're going to pull our elbows back as we stretch the front of our body forward. Again, looking forward and along your mat. Heart reaches forward and up as we pick up the spine. Breathe in, reach the legs in opposition. Breathe out, let the elbows pull down as we stretch the front of the tummy. One more. Let the breath help you. Breathing in to lift. Up. And breathing out down. And then closing the legs, bring your hands up by your shoulders and just sit back in a stretch. Reaching those arms. You can open the knees, big toes together. And then walk your hands to the right corner of your mat. And then walk your hands to the left corner of your mat. Coming back to your center, and let's come up again onto all fours. From here, we're going to go into a cat stretch. So as we exhale, we're going to round the body. Press those thighs into, or your shins into the floor. And then just scooch back a little bit, increase the curve of your lower back. Bring yourself forward, increasing that pelvic curl, and then lengthen. Exhale, think about that pubic bone tipping up. Scooch back, forward, and lengthen. We round, scooch back, forward, and lengthen. Now let's come to the very front of our mats. You're going to step back strongly with your right leg. So you're on your strong arms and leg. We're going to pull the pubic bone, lifting up towards our rib cage, finding those lower tummy muscles. Now think about stepping your other leg back into a plank position, and then do it without moving your pelvis. Just boom, hold that position. Our pubic bone is tipping up. Strong legs, reaching the chest forward. Hold for 5, 4, 3. Keep that pubic bone pulling up. 2 and 1. Taking the knees down. Organizing ourselves back. We're going to do side 2, stepping back with the left leg now strongly. Before you jump into your plank, just really organize your body, drawing the pubic bone up with weight bearing on both strong arms and that leg. And then when you're ready, boom, step back with the other leg. Now, can you now lift one leg up and down? So it's the same movement we did lying prone. Just now we don't have feedback from the floor, so we gotta keep that pubic bone tilting. Once more each side. One more. And then lower down. Rolling up onto a high kneel. Lifting the arms. Finding length. Lower the arms down. We're going to open our knees to hip distance apart. We're going to reach the arms forward. Lengthen that tailbone down, keeping the back long. Sit bones together. We're going to lean back. Keeping that nice sense of center and up, so we avoid arching the back or rounding. We're just leaning back in one long line. I'm still drawing my pubic bone upwards, so there's that little micro tilt of the pelvis. And up, one more. And then we're going to lift those arms and circle down. All right, let's come back onto our hands and knees. Hands slightly wider than shoulders. Tuck your toes. And now we're going to go back into our knee hover. This time we're going to pivot our hips up and back in a down dog. So feel free to do adjustments of your hands and feet, grounding the hands, spreading the toes. Now we're going to curl the pelvis again. Keep the back of the knees open, reach those heels as we go into a plank position here. And then you're going to pike up your hips. Curling into a plank. Nice strong legs and arms. And then pike up. One more. Use that pelvic curl. And then pike your hips up. And then we're just going to pedal our feet for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Twisting the body a little bit. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then from here, we're going to bend the knees down. I'm going to curl the toes. I'm going to open my legs a bit wider than hip distance apart. And I'm going to roll over my feet in a roly-poly position. All right. Now, if you don't feel comfortable coming up from a roll-up, you can come up through a kneeling position. But if we can, we're going to dive our head down. Press the heels down into the mat and lift your sitting bones up in our forward fold. Finding length, grounding the feet,
spreading our toes wide for that base of support. And then we're going to again curl that pelvis, scoop the tummy, wheeling those hips on top of the thighs, and then lifting up. And then circling the arms down. So it's like we're a corkscrew. We're going to reach our arms up. So the arms are like a corkscrew. They push down, but your head is like a cork popping out of the bottle. Breathing in. Turn, breathe out. And lower. And thanks guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you all soon.